You're going to be there, and I'm going to say on a couple fronts. Not only are you going to be there for um, your horror movies and your comics now, but the Lorax is coming. Are they going to do
Yes.
anything for the
I'm not
Lorax
sure
there?
what's going on with the Lorax in terms of Comic Con, but I am having so much fun doing this character. And it is the coolest, like, I
I am
mean,
the Lorax,
and
and
I
I
speak for the trees,
that's
baby. You know what I mean? I mean, they got nobody to speak for, them. And I am having so much fun jumping around. Like, how you do it. It's like a really great process how you do it. You have the script and everything. And you sit in a room. It's not unlike this where you got a camera right there, and you got a room full of people in the other booth, and you just do it. You go crazy and you say whatever you want. And the Lorax is like a feisty little bastard. Perfect for me. And I just go down there and do 3 or 4 hour sessions and blow my brains out. Like screaming and hollering at about the about this the Onceler, who is like this guy who's got his head up his ass, who's cutting down all the trees. And I think Ed Helms
Ed
plays that
Helms.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, I like Ed. He's a very nice guy. But here's the great thing, okay? I'm doing the Lorax, the title character. Chris Meledandri, who's done some really great stuff with the Despicable
Me.
Me and the this, that, and the other thing. Uh, the other day, I got a good friend whose daughter is like 8, 9, and he calls me up and he says, Ruby just read that Taylor Swift is in the movie with you. And she's got to meet Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor Swift is a hottie. I like her. I think she's great. I've never met her. You know what I mean? Because I'm like doing my part, she's doing her part. And so now my big task here as a friend's, like an uncle to this little girl, Ruby, who's the sweetest kid. Now I got to figure out how I got to hook her up to get a picture of her with Taylor Swift. That's what it's come to. Okay? I am now that when you see the fans, going up to people with the kid, hey, Danny, would you take a picture with my niece? That's going to be me taking Ruby over to see Taylor Swift at the Lorax premiere. You know?
I can't go in yet. I can't sit down. Taylor hasn't.
No,
walked.
I can't do anything till she comes.
Oh, that's awesome. No,
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss was a huge part. Did you read the?
Oh
kids?
yeah,
I mean,
always. Oh yeah.
all of Dr.
That's
Seuss.
I have 3 kids, and the great thing about having kids is one of the great things is that you get to relive all the stuff that you either did or missed as a kid. So all the books, all the storybooks, and all the the green eggs and ham and the this and the that, all the Dr. Seuss books, you get to relive when you have kids. And Lorax was one of our favorites, and so it's the same thing with Matilda. Like for instance, I directed Matilda, and the way I came to Matilda was that the kids who are now 28, 25, and 23. The girls, the two oldest kids, came in one day. We were reading chapter books instead of like reading the picture books, where, although we loved the great artistry of the picture books, but this was they wanted to read chapter books, and that's one of the first books they brought to me. I'd never heard of it before, and it was one of those things that most. If you look at Roald Dahl's stuff, he's very subversive. And kids, literally, are the ones that introduce books like that to their parents rather than the other way around. I was in a dentist office after I had finally gotten to the point where I was going to direct the movie. And it was one of those daddy-daughter days where the dentist brought his kid in. She was coloring in the other room, and I was talking to the dentist, and she overheard me. He'd never heard of it. I said, I'm going to do this movie called Matilda. And the little kid perked up like big time and came in. And the guy says, you know this book? She said, oh, yeah, it's one of my favorite books. This is the father didn't know about it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of those. Well, anyway, my kids brought that to me. So, you know, that's one of the gifts of having children.
I'll tell you what, if I had a kid talk to me about a book they read, I would listen to them for hours, but I can't stand there for 10 minutes about Pokemon or, something I was trying to explain. But if it's a book, it just seems like it's more real to them.
Yeah, like I have this project called True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle, which is a book by a guy named Avi, and it's a fantastic book. And it's a book that is an adventure for on the high seas, and it's about a 12-year-old girl, a 13-year-old girl, and I can't remember who brought it into the office like years ago. Said this was his niece's favorite book, and I had it for forever. Just kept it for a while. It's written for young readers, and I am a young reader anyway. So but even though, and I didn't read it for a month or so, and then I read it, and I just went, oh my God, this book has got to be on the screen. This is like an incredible, empowering book and of course I have two daughters, so I'm a little bit partial to, empowering young girls and giving them the feeling that they can do it too, just like, like you have your own website.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's people do that. They go, you have to encourage kids, and I think it's happening more and more with young girls.
Warner Brothers is about to put out the last Harry Potter. They're going to need their next fanfare.
I'm telling you, man, we got the True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle.
That could be it.
Oh man, yeah, and it'll be instead of a Harry Potter, it'll be the heroine of the story will be a young girl.